everyone, it's Tawney. Today we are going to be I'm filming an anti-haul. I was initially going to be doing a new makeup nonsense bingo. I've been wanting to do one for quite a while now, but just never got around to doing it. Just laziness, I guess, on my part. But I decided it might be a little bit easier because sometimes in the new makeup nonsense bingos, I'm not able to talk about every item on my list. And sometimes I like to talk about every item on my list. So today we're going to be doing just a plain old anti-haul so I can get everything in, so I can tell you my thoughts and opinions. This one, I have to say, is not quite as juicy as other ones have been in the past. So I do apologize for that off the bat. That like sometimes there is a reason for an anti-haul so I can get all my thoughts out there and like really hit the nail on the head. But this time there's just some stuff that like I felt like I wanted to throw out there and talk about with you all. I'm feeling a little bit disgusto barfo, if you're Office fans. I'm feeling a little bit kind of like ugh tonight. I kind of look it. I don't look terrible, but like it's just ugh. It's a Thursday. I have like busy work to do tomorrow and I don't want to do it. And part of me wants the weekend to be over because I have exciting things happening next week, like the beginning of next week. But I also like really want to enjoy the fact that it's the weekend and I can sleep in and I can like do whatever I want without having to go to work. So like, I don't know. It's like, don't wish your life away, but also like, I can't wait for what's going to come. So, I mean, it's that time of year anyway. Not sure when you're watching this, but it is like the beginning of November. I love this time of year with the holidays. It's just like my favorite time of year. It's going to be rough on my family because of what we've been going through in the last month, but I like am holding out hope that like we can still make things nice. Like I'm still looking forward to it regardless. So let me know if you guys are excited in the comment section because I'd love to know if you guys are excited or not. I have not decorated yet. I will not do that till after Thanksgiving, but I am excited. So that's something. To get started, the first item on our list is the new Juvia'S Place I Define pen eyeliner. That was a mouthful. It's $16, which that's not bad, but that's kind of expensive. Juvia'S Place is one of those brands that they've never explicitly said they were drugstore, but from where they are at Ulta, at least at my Ulta that I've been to, they are in the drugstore section. Their prices are decent, but I found that they're on like the high end of the drugstore prices. They're teetering between like high-end L'Oreal, like higher priced L'Oreal, Milani, NYX, like that area. I feel like the quality is definitely better than those brands, but it's still kind of like it's teetering, and I'm almost like at some point you're gonna have to like make a choice on if you're, you know, high-end or drugstore, because like some of us can't afford those high prices when we're like wanting to buy from the drugstore. But this eyeliner pencil, I like the blue color. I have to say, I think that's really pretty. I think it would look really nice. I am not really a big fan of eyeliner in general. I've been working with it and doing better at it. If you've seen any of my videos between Halloween looks and regular everyday looks, you'll know that I'm not great at eyeliner. So it's definitely something that like takes a lot of practice for me, that I'm still practicing like even now after months of doing it and stuff. It says it glides on easily, has stunning precision, no smudges, zero feathering, and made without parabens. So I guess it could be something interesting, but I'm not buying it because I don't do eyeliner. Next up is from Artist Couture, and it is the Stay Lit Liquid Eyeshadows. These look really nice, but I don't like liquid eyeshadow. I think they have good quality of eyeshadows, or like liquid eyeshadows. I know they've had like pot shadows before, and I've heard really good things. So I feel like if you're interested, it'd be something to try. I just won't be picking them up just because I don't do liquid eyeshadow. With my hooded eyes, it's so hard to get the liquid to not move everywhere on my eyes. I'd almost have to do it as like a one color look, and I don't like doing that sometimes. So for me, it's just not worth it. So I'm passing on that. Next up is the Multi-Chrome Metallic Party Collection. It's the Chromosome Collection from Glam. And if you are not familiar, Glam is the brand of Shein. They have started making their own makeup. And I always figured that their makeup would be along the lines of Rue 21, Forever 21, like those types of brands that they're more like retail. They're very cheap clothing, fast fashion, that then put out makeup because they realize that people are into makeup. So why don't we sell makeup too so we can cover everything? They might as well sell pots and pans and call themselves Walmart because they're selling everything at low prices. I like the palette. I think it's cute. I like the packaging. I like everything about it, except that it's made by Shein. I don't like supporting Shein because they're very unethical and they steal a lot of artwork and property from other people. They've stolen, different designs, different artwork, different like photography things that people have done. And it's just not ethical in my mind. And as a social worker, I definitely can't support unethicalness, if that's even a word. So I just can't get it. I would like to be able to try this brand, but I just don't feel comfortable supporting them. So they're kind of a brand that I would like never support. So this is something I will never buy. So I don't want to recommend it because it's unethical, but it's at the end of the day, it's your decision if you're going to get it or not. Next up is from Natasha Denona, and it is the Glam Face and Eye Palettes. They're $59 each. There's one that's light and dark, and I have to say the dark one doesn't look super dark, but maybe it could work. I mean, I wouldn't be able to say whether or not it could. I kind of like the shades in the dark one better, at least in terms of the eyeshadow. I just think they look a little bit nicer, and I feel like you could get a more diverse look. Whereas in the light one, all the colors kind of look like they would just blend into one shadow. And I don't like eyeshadow palettes that do that, because then it kind of takes away, like, your ability to do something different and create something interesting. You're just stuck with like a brown blob on your eye. And it's like, we want all of these eyeshadows to be different and stand out. And this just kind of looks like they might like just kind of mash into one. And I'm not a big fan of that. I don't particularly like face palettes, so I'm already like deterred away from this. But then I've heard bad things about Natasha's face palettes and D's face palettes, so I would just probably like steer clear of this at all. Plus, with it being $59, you're better off to just buy an eyeshadow palette that'll actually like function for you. So Lady Gaga is coming out with the new Casa Gaga Italian Glam collection, and there is a lip glaze, a mini lipstick set, a gel powder all over rouge, a pink liquid eyeliner. It spells out just like that. A gel powder highlighter, which is kind of interesting to me. And then a highlighter brush, and then the whole set. Or it says it's a train case, which I guess would hold all of your, like, brushes maybe. That's $198. So that's a definite no. I think it's actually... It honestly, to me, looks like it's a case, like a travel case. Which, like, $198, who the F do you think you are, Lady Gaga? I'm sorry. Like, that is just, like, I can't even. The only thing, aside from hearing that it was, like, a gel highlighter, which is the weirdest thing, a gel powder highlighter, I was interested in the lip products, the lip glazes. I'm always interested in stuff like that, even though I'm not a big fan of liquid lipstick, or, lip gloss. I do have some lip glosses I actually do like, so I can't really say I don't like them at all, but they're not my preferred, like, texture and consistency in a lip product. I just prefer something a little bit thicker, and that's not goopy on my lips, even if it's, like, tolerable. So I'm not sure I would like this. They kind of, to me, seem like they would be lip oils, so, and they're claiming them to be toppers, so that kind of is, like, I don't know. If your lipstick and your lip products aren't doing enough, then just buy one that is doing enough. You don't need to get a topper to cover, you know what I mean? Like, that just seems like a waste of money. I'm not going to be purchasing anything from this. Lady Gaga's brand, House Labs, is one of those brands that just doesn't interest me enough for me to want to, like, purchase anything. Nothing they've ever come out with has been interesting enough to me for me to want to, like, actually go through with it and, like, purchase anything, which is unfortunate because I like Lady Gaga, but I'm just not impressed. So Nabla is coming out with the 2 Reasons collection, and there are cream, it's a multi-talented duo with 2 different textures, and it looks like they're blushes. One is powder, one is cream, or at least that's the way it's, like, coming off to me, but I'm not totally sure. And then there's also a freckle maker, which I think in this sort of market with where we're going with makeup, freckle makers and freckle pens and stuff are like the most genius thing brands could be doing right now. Like, every brand should be jumping on that because everyone is interested in those. And if you have high-end brands making them, drugstore brands should kind of get on the train and do that as well. So then that way people can purchase those items for a cheaper price. Like they'll be more likely to buy from like Wet n Wild or Maybelline versus like Gucci and some brand that's like super expensive. I'm not going to be purchasing any of these because they seem a little bit funky. It says you can use them on the lips and the cheeks. Oh, there's a cream color and a glassy balm. So for me, that's a no. But maybe there's something interesting. I'd like to see like what the consistency is and how it would apply on the face and like how you can actually use it. But for me, it's just not something I'm like actually going to think about purchasing. Just not for me. So the next thing is the e.l.f. collection with I Heart Revolution. And I have to say, I've never seen the e.l.f. movie. Don't come for me. I'm not a Will Ferrell fan. I don't like those episodes of The Office. I think he ruined Michael's final episodes, if you ask me. I don't think he brought anything to the show that Steve Carell didn't already have. I kind of think it was almost a jab at Steve Carell from NBC, but that's just speculation. It's not like it's actually true. The palette looks really cute, I have to say. I'm not totally sure how well the shadows would work because they look very light and pastelish, and pastels always kind of like rub me the wrong way because I feel like they wouldn't be able to work well, especially with people of deeper skin tones, just because I feel like they would get very washed out and gray looking on their skin. So that's just something that kind of like, I don't know. Not much of it looks very pastel, but I do have to say there is a little bit that does, so that's something to like keep in mind if you're interested. I really like the the brush set. Boy, I'm tired tonight, apparently. It's almost my bedtime, so clearly I'm a little like... But the brush set does look nice. I think it's really cute, but I just don't think I'd be purchasing the brushes. I might pick up the eyeshadow palette, but I'm not sure if I will or not. It's up in the air if I will, but I do think it's not a bad collection. I don't know how well they like captured the essence of e.l.f. because I can see there's some greens and there's stuff that like leans red, but not really red enough to actually like be red like Christmassy. It looks very like bright and cheery and like spring colored, like because of the pastels and the light tones. So I'm not sure how well this would actually go with e.l.f. in general. So if you're a big fan of e.l.f. and you have an opinion, put it down in the comment section. Next up is the Disney Color Collection with BeautyBay.com. I guess that's the brand. I don't actually, Beauty Bay. And this is, there's an Alice in Wonderland palette and a Bambi palette, which are $11 each. And I don't think these are bad. But my thing, they look very boring. They look like anyone can throw these eyeshadow colors in here, these shades in here, put the little Mickey Mouse stamp on there and call it Alice in Wonderland, Bambi, anything Disney that you want to consider, throwing in there. It just doesn't quite, to me, seem like there was enough effort and thought. It was just kind of like, we want to put Disney on it so people buy it. Because like, oh, they like Alice in Wonderland, they'll buy it. They'll buy all the stuff relating to the movie, even though they don't actually need this because the palette's a piece of crap. I don't know how good the formula is. This brand kind of seems like one of those brands that is just kind of very lacking. Like they don't really do much because they feel like they can get away with not putting much effort into it, which I hate brands that are like that because it's so lazy and disrespectful because we're wasting our hard-earned money on stuff that ends up being crappy. And then we end up thinking it's us or that we did something wrong. And it's like, no, the palette just sucks. But people don't always want to admit that because you'd assume that everything would be good quality and would turn out the way you're expecting. I won't be purchasing any of this because I think it's waste of money and waste of time. Next up is the Mariposas collection, the Amor y Mariposas collection from Dominique Cosmetics. I apologize if I did not say that correctly. I was not a good student in Spanish class in high school, so I do apologize. I'm not the best. I just attempted it. There's not really a whole lot coming out about it. It says there's an eyeshadow palette, some lipsticks, a mirror, some brushes, and some more that'll be coming. I just have to say, I don't know who this person is that they're collabing with, but the mirror looks kind of nice, and the eyeshadow palette, like, I'm kind of, like, interested. Like, I'm waiting for more pictures to see if I'd be interested in picking this up, because it just looks so cool and, like, different that I just, like, even though it looks like rainbowy, the packaging and stuff just looks so different that I feel like it might be actually interesting to pick up and see if I'd, like it or something. I've never tried Melt's products before and their, like, quality of the eyeshadow palettes, so it'd be interesting to see how well it worked and if, like, the collection and being a collaboration with somebody would be different than like the regular formula. So that's something I'll have to keep an eye on and like wait for it when it comes out. Next up is from Colourpop, and it is their Quartz collection. When I first saw this picture, it just kind of seemed like everything they've been doing for the last couple months. They have the big snake eyes or something, snake palette, the cold, it's the cool tone palette. They have that, and then they have all these other, like the Baroque palette, and they have these like little minis, like the taupe one, and this just kind of seems like the same exact thing. Like, it looks nice, and it looks like something that I would pick up if it was on sale or something, but just not enough to really, like, grab my attention enough for me to actually want to get it. I really like the shimmer glitters that are in the individual pan. Yeah, 3 pressed glitter shadows. I think that's a good idea to put them in individual pans like that so that people can purchase them if they're not interested in getting them in a palette or getting the whole collection, or if they like to just try the formula of the pressed glitters, because I think that'd be something interesting for people like, you know, that just are interested in something like that so that they can have a chance to try it out without trying a whole palette or, you know, spending a whole bunch of money. I don't think I'll be picking up anything from this unless the palette goes on sale, because I just feel like I already have these shadows all the time. There's just nothing new that like is enticing me to want to buy them. And I think that's the problem with Colourpop lately, is that a lot of their stuff is just very repetitive and that people are just getting so burnt out that people just maybe aren't buying from them. And I'd be interested to see like how well their sales have been doing since people kind of sort of caught on, especially in the world of YouTube, because I noticed a lot of YouTubers will bring it up in videos, especially in anti-hauls and things of this nature, that they'll talk about the fact that Colourpop is kind of overwhelming them and overwhelming the makeup space with all their releases all the time. Next up is from Morphe, and it is their Disney collection. And it is pretty much like the Mickey and Friends collection. The only thing I really want to talk about is the eyeshadow palette. I think this palette is incredibly boring. I like rainbow palettes. I think there's a place for them. I think there's a time for them. But I just don't feel like this is something new that Morphe has done. They've already done pastels. They've already done bolds. They've already done rainbow. They've already done like very neutrally palettes. Like they've done everything. That this is all just like a bunch of random shadows thrown in a palette, put some Disney on it, and sell it. And it's just like Disney is becoming the new Colourpop. We're so tired of Disney. I'm so tired of seeing Disney stuff on everything. Disney makes enough money. We don't need to see it in the makeup sphere. And I feel like it's almost offensive that Morphe is latching onto this so tightly. Like, this cannot be their first, like, Disney collection. Like, I feel like it's not. Don't, like, quote me on this. But, like, I swear, Morphe will collab with anyone. Like, I breathed, I'm going to be the next collab person. I'm not going to. I'm just putting that out there. But, like, it's getting ridiculous at this point. Like, calm down. Like, stop releasing so much makeup. Focus on your quality rather than your quantity, and people will be more likely to buy from you in the future. Same with Disney. Like, calm it down on your releases, and people will be actually, like, really excited for them. When they get overwhelmed, they're not interested because they just saw another one the other day. There's another one with Colourpop and Disney, and it is the Nightmare Before Christmas collection. I have another controversial thing to say. I have never seen Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't even know the name of it. I've never seen it before. It doesn't seem interesting to me. I'm just not, it's not super, like, it's not drawing me in enough for me to actually want to watch it. I say I'll watch it. I talk about wanting to watch it, and I never watch it. I don't really like Tim Burton's style in terms of animated movies. It's just not for me, and I know some people really like that, so I'm not offending it. It's just not my thing. I think the palette actually looks really nice. If we're going to separate Nightmare Before Christmas and the palette, I think the palette looks cool. I think it's something different. I think there's innovative shades, and the colors are very like different compared to what we've seen in the past, but I'm not sure if it would like fit well with the movie. I feel like they just found that the movie does really well. People really like it, and they're like, we got to put a collection out with it. And it's just like, some things are just better left alone, like Nightmare Before Christmas. MAC has a new collection with Lisa, and I don't know who she is, and I apologize about that. There are lipsticks, an eyeshadow palette, a highlighter, a blush, eyeliners, and more, and it's coming soon. I like the packaging, except on the lipsticks, because the lipsticks are red. I think the highlighter looks pretty, but I'm not picking up any of this. I don't really like MAC's products. I think they're very boring in my opinion. I don't know who Lisa is, so I don't have any tie to like buy from her. And I just don't want to buy this stuff because I like the packaging. Like, that's a waste of my money. So I'm not going to be getting any of this. Next up is the Ulta and Pixar collection. And there is a Toy Story collection, a Finding Nemo collection, and a Monsters, Inc. collection. Now, I have to say, I have heard rumors that the picture that I have up here does not match the picture of the palettes on Ulta. Now, like, you guys need to go look it up for yourselves and, like, see if you, like, know what I'm talking about. But it's a very shocking difference. Like, the pictures are a lot brighter from what I'm posting to what is shown on Ulta, and that's a little bit alarming. That, like, you could be getting a palette that you didn't even, like, you thought you were getting something different, and it turns out you're getting, like, a whole other palette, like something worse, you know? I kind of like the Finding Nemo palette. I think it's really cool. But again, I've seen a lot of pictures of this palette where there's a lot of oranges. And I know that the fish are orange. But they're in an ocean. Do more blue if you're going to do more, like, color. Like, if you're going to use the same color, do blue. Like, I don't understand why orange is so prominent. It's not like you're going to go through the orange so fast that you need, like, 10 of them. Like, maybe I'd be interested in it if it was something that, like, actually really felt like the movie. But this, to me, doesn't really seem quite like it. Monsters, Inc. seems nothing like the movie. And, like, there's no green. I mean, how do you not have the palette without green? For Mike. Like, Mike Wazowski. Hello? And the Toy Story one is just a lot of browns. And it's like, I already have that palette in my collection. Clearly. And it's going to be better quality because I've heard Ulta quality of, like, their main brand, their own brand, is crap. And it's like, who would want to buy something knowing that the quality's already bad just for nostalgia whenever you end up getting a product you didn't even ask for? I think this whole thing is just a mess. I think it's just a cash grab. And it's honestly just them, like, taking advantage of us and our, like, childhood. And that's ridiculous. Like, it shouldn't be happening like that. So next up are the Infinite Chrome Flakes by Danessa Myricks. I have heard very good things about Danessa Myricks, so I would suggest checking them out if you're interested. They have come out with multi-chrome flake toppers, and I think these look really freaking cool. Now, I don't think I would buy these, and I don't know that I would ever use them, because I feel like these things are really cool if you're into doing very interesting makeup looks, if you're interested in testing out makeup, or, like, doing different looks and, like, testing out different looks and stuff. But for me, who goes to work and wears my makeup to work, doesn't go partying at clubs, or just have these, like, big fancy get-togethers where we'd wear fancy makeup, this is just so impractical. So I guess if you have the right time and place to wear them, this would be interesting to pick up. But for me, it's a no. Next up is the Holiday 2021 collection from Juvia'S Place. There's a lot of brushes, 2 eyeshadow palettes, some lip products. I think the blue palette looks really interesting. That's, like, the really only thing I'm interested in the palette. I think the brush collection would be cool, but again, it would probably be expensive. So that's something I'm not going to even bother with, because I just know I won't be able to afford it. And, like, I have brushes I like that are so much cheaper where I didn't have to buy a collection and then end up not liking half of the brushes that came with it. That's a problem when you buy a set, is that you sometimes don't like every brush, so then you're wasting your money buying the whole thing when you only like a handful of brushes. So that's something to think about next time you buy a brush set. I think the palettes look really nice. They're not really quite screaming Christmas. I think the teal is throwing me off for holiday. Maybe they're just trying to do, like, winter, and that's why it's blue, or, like, the teal or whatever. But it's not quite, like, hitting me like I was expecting a holiday collection to, or at least, like, Christmas or something. But if you're interested in it, it could be good, and I like the quality of their eyeshadow palettes. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely not the worst, so you could check it out since it's so, like, fairly affordable. Next up is the Filler Lip Plumping Lip Smoothing Gloss, Line Smoothing Gloss. Maybe it's supposed to be lip, but it says line. These are $25, and I think they're really cute. I like the packaging. I don't think I'll be picking them up because I have other plumping glosses that are cheaper that I don't need to actually, like, buy because I already have them. But this could be something interesting to get, and I'd like to know if people get them and how they feel about them because they look really nice. Next up is the Victorian Spider Compact by Besame Cosmetics. It is $101 with a $28.50 refill. You'd be better off to buy the refill and not get the packaging, the compact. I feel like the point of it is the compact, not the product. But then it's like, does the product even work? Is it even worth getting? Is it worth spending $101? Like, I can't justify $101 for a powder that is embroidered with something. Like, I can't. Like, they had the Disney collection with all the princesses that have, like, slowly been releasing one after another. And they're so expensive, of course, because it's Besame. And I'm like, who has the money to waste on these things to buy this crap that probably doesn't work any more differently than, like, your L'Oreal Maybelline stuff? I mean, I don't get it. Like, it's not... It doesn't make sense to me. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Okay. So... next up is the Lucky Penny collection from Colourpop. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, what is this? I'm like, a penny? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't quite get, you know? I think the palette is actually cute, but every single picture I have seen of this palette has had a filter on the picture. Has anyone else noticed that? Have you caught on to that? It's always taken in really, like, weird golden hour lighting that kind of distorts the image of the palette, that I feel like it'd be another one that would come and you'd be like, well, this isn't what I ordered. Like, I ordered something way different than this. Why didn't this show up on my doorstep? Like, did Colourpop send me the wrong palette? Like, I like the palette and I think it's cool. I like the copperiness of everything. I think it's kind of cute. But again, I almost feel like the filter and the lighting is convincing me to buy it. Not because I actually need it or want it. So it's something that, like, I feel like I would need to see in person or better pictures of to know if it was actually worth getting, because to me, it just doesn't seem like it's, like, as good as the pictures claim. Pictures are very, like, they're very hit or miss. Next up is the new palette, the Rose Quartz palette from Huda Beauty. And it also features a highlighter. This highlighter looks disgusting. It looks like you left a highlighter out to rot and mold, and this is your highlighter now. Like, I can't. I'd love to see what this swatch is like, because it has that, like, black, murky gold, like, grayness in it, and I'm just like, how would that swatch? How would it show up, like, gray? Like, it's so weird. Okay, so I have a controversial thing to say. Again, this is full of controversy in this video, but it's something different. The more I look at this palette, want this palette. Every time I see these shimmers, I'm like, I love these. Now, would I use them? Probably not. Would I ever really actually do any kind of interesting look with this palette? No. And I know that for a fact because I know me. But these shimmers are, like, giving me life. This purple in the bottom row towards the right, oh my gosh, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, I want it just for that purple. Like, I don't need it. I don't want to spend my money on this, but I feel like I need to have it. I feel like I need it in my collection. Let me know if you're picking that up, because I really want to know if it's worth getting. Like, if it's actually going to be worth it. So Dominique Cosmetics is coming out with the Coral Blossom palette for $42. And I think this is cute. Now, I'm not going to purchase this, but I think it's actually really cute. I don't think it fits this time of year at all. I think it's more appropriate for spring because of, like, it has butterflies with the picture. It's just very spring to me, that, like, this time of year does not fit for it at all. But I like Dominique Cosmetics formula. So if you're interested in it, I would say to go for it, because you'll probably like it, because I like both the palettes that I have of hers that, you know, that I have. But I will not be buying this just because it looks a little bit too neutral for me, and I already have plenty of neutrals that, like, I can make it work. So, ooh, this palette right here, the Dia Dye collection by Florisis. Sorry if I'm saying any of this wrong. The palette, $67. But look at it. Oh my gosh. I feel like I need this, but you would never use it. Like, I need to get one to use and one to leave, because the embossing is so pretty. I feel like I need this palette. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I really want it. And, like, I'm not an artsy fartsy person. I'm not into art. I'm not into, like, that cultured stuff. That's just not really me. But man, this palette, ooh, I would feel like I'm in, like, a French cafe sipping my little tea out of my little teacup with like a little fan or something. I'm like living my best French life. Just looking at this. Like it is like sending me. Now it kind of looks like it's leaning more like on the Asian end. Now I don't know what part of Asia. I'm not going to like just take a stab at it. I'm just going to say it just looks a little Asian. But it's giving me French vibes. So I'm not saying like not to try and like disregard, you know, I'm just, this is what I'm thinking right in this moment. Next up is the Wretched Romance Collection from Glam. Oh, why did they do this to me? Another collection that I would like to purchase from, but it's from Glam. Of course it is. This palette, I freaking like this palette. Now, would I ever use these shadows? No, I don't think I'd use half this palette, but I like it so much. And that white that has the little blood splatter in it, oh my gosh. Oh, but it's Glam. Oh. You guys, would it be ethical to buy this if somebody was selling it online somewhere, like Poshmark, Facebook somewhere? Can you tell me in the comment section? Because I feel like I really want this, but I don't want to support Glam. Like, would it be supporting them if I purchased it from someone else? Or would I just be supporting them? Why? Okay, we're going to move on because I'm very upset about that. Okay, so that is the last thing we had to talk about. We ended on a very sad note. Tear. Let me know what you guys are going to be picking up in the next couple of weeks. If there was anything from the video you're interested in, anything you definitely want to steer clear of, like I am with Glam. Too bad they're so unethical. I'd love to support them, but they're so unethical. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you liked it. I love filming anti-hauls and any of these kind of videos where we just sit down and talk about makeup, because that's what I love to do. And you guys are like the only people, and I don't even know you, who I can talk about makeup to that like seems interested and actually wants to hear my opinion. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Flood those comments with your thoughts on this video, because I'd love to hear your opinion on all this makeup. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell down below so you get notified when I upload the next video. And I will see you then, guys. Bye.